Hey review family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morris, the review guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one I'm going to be covering the new Visceral Disgorge record entitled Slithering Evisceration. If the name of the band didn't give you an indication, if the name of the album didn't give you an indication, Visceral Disgorge is a death metal band from Baltimore, Maryland, formed in 2007. You probably wouldn't know all the details, but you can kind of tell it's a death metal band. They cling to kind of the slam veneer, they cling to the technical death metal veneer and the brutal death metal veneer. They've released one studio-length album prior to this quite a few years back on Amputated Vein Records. That record was called Ingesting Putridity, and going back to that record in preparation for this review, in retrospect, I think it's a fairly decent slam record. Perhaps a little bit one-dimensional in its presentation, but it was still a very hard-hitting record. Slithering Evisceration, kind of a different affair. Both albums consist of 9 tracks, however, their first studio-length album was 44 minutes long, this one is only 31 minutes long. And I'll be completely honest, I find this to be a welcomed surprise, because I think for a style this abrasive, this in-your-face, this constant frenzied havoc, I feel like the brevity kind of helps it. It's a fairly basic record, though. However, they perform their style very, very intricately. They have all of the necessities of the genre. They have those slamming riffs, they have the slamming breakdowns, they have the low, down-tuned guitar work, they have the fast and technical and complex guitar work, the very guttural growls, and extremely, extremely good drums. The drum work was something that kind of off-put me a little bit on their first record, because I like it to have, like, very little resonance. I like it to just be a constant boulder to the face. Their first record didn't give me that impression as much as this record, where the drums are just bashing your skull in. One thing I can appreciate about this band on this record is the fact that in the genre of slam and brutal death metal, you get a lot of extremely one-dimensional bands that are just doing the same thing, regurgitating and recycling the same exact thing that every other band does, which on paper there's nothing wrong with that because it's a genre that really does value tradition, really does value just the simplicity and the hard-hitting nature of the style they conventionally perform. I just really do appreciate the fact that Visceral Disgorge has this complicated, just complex way of portraying their own sound. Everything sounds so dizzying, it sounds so measured, it sounds so flawless. The production on this record is also better than their previous one. Their previous one did have very little resonance. I feel like this one has a little bit more punchiness that lets everything have this good texture to it and lets everything be completely audible. Whereas the first record just felt like one solid motion, except for the moments where they did kind of slow it down to more chunky and full-sounding, consuming death metal riffs, or some of the very low-tuned breakdowns they fell into. Slithering Evisceration, though, does kind of lack in terms of memorability from track to track. Kind of like their first record, it does just blend in with this massive wave of noise and sound. But while it's on, it's very technical. The talent levels are completely evident. Like I said before, I really do appreciate the fact that this is a shorter record. It's barely breaching the 30-minute mark, so it's very in and out quickly, and it has that focused feel to it. The songwriting on this record is absolutely intoxicating. The lyricism brutal, just like you would like from this band, which has kind of marked some controversy from them. This album just puts the fun and funeral that is death metal. Check this out if you're interested in slam death metal, technical death metal, or just brutal death metal, because I think this is a very standout release. It does get a little bit one-dimensional, and the memorability on repeated listens isn't necessarily as cohesive as I might like. It does blend in quite a bit, and through the track listing, I do think that even though they do have a lot of fresh ideas, it does a lot of times feel quite a lot like their previous material. But like I said, they're just doing the style a lot of justice, a hell of a lot of justice, and I have a feeling that anyone that likes death metal will get a lot out of this release, because it is to the walls, balls to the wall heavy. I'm going to be giving this record a 7 out of 10. And that is a wrap. Please stay free to the end screen. I'll link some videos that you might be interested in. Have you heard this new Visceral Disgorge record, Slithering Evisceration? If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about it. I would love to discuss the record with you. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. It helped me out a lot. And subscribe to join the review family today. I'd love to have you here. And smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. My name is Jay Morris, the review guy. You know who it is. And I'm signing off saying farewell.